pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, welcome to the meeting. Anyone from the public wishing to address the board at this time may do so. You have another chance at the end of the meeting. All right. Minutes of the previous meeting of August 3rd. Any errors or omissions noted by the board?
I make a motion that the minutes be accepted as printed. Second.
A motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, bills. Mrs. Pelkey, you got anything else for us?
There's two additions. The first one is business cards for $29.90. And the second one is New York Power Authority for $31,872.35.
All right, any comment on the bills from the board?
I make a motion the bills be paid.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Is there any correspondence?
No, there isn't.
Okay. There's a bunch of stuff here to do. Have a resolution 2020-27, retention and disposal schedule, disposition schedule for New York local government records. Whereas the retention and disposition of schedule of New York local government records issued pursuant to Article 57A of the Arts and Cultural Affairs Law, containing legal minimum retention periods for local government records, has been updated. Whereas the Village Board of Trustees is required to formally adopt the updated schedule prior to implementation, be it therefore resolved that the Board of Trustees does hereby adopt updated LGS-1 to be used in the creation, maintenance, and disposition of village records. And I move that to the floor. I need a second.
Second.
Okay, Trustee Arnold,
Aye.
Trustee Dart,
Aye.
Trustee Menard,
Aye.
Trustee Gadway.
Aye.
The mayor votes aye. Okay, resolution 2020-28 delegate resolution. This is for the MEUA conference they're having. Whereas the Board of Trustees of the Village of Rouses Point is a municipal member of the MEUA, and whereas the annual conference of MEUA has been called on September 17th, 2020 to be via virtual meeting, and whereas in accordance with the bylaws of MEUA, each municipal member may cast one vote on each transaction properly brought before this meeting. Be it therefore resolved that MEUA Executive Committee be and hereby is designated as the accredited delegate for the Village of Rouses Point. Move that to the floor for a second.
Second.
Okay, Trustee Arnold,
Aye.
Trustee Dart,
Aye.
Trustee Menard,
Aye.
Trustee Gadway,
Aye.
Mayor votes aye. Okay, resolution 2020-29, bond resolution dated August 17th, 2020. A resolution authorizing, subject to permissive referendum, the construction of a new water treatment plant on village-owned parcel of land adjacent to the existing village water storage tower, and reconstruction of the existing water treatment plant for use as a raw water pump station in and for the Village of Rouses Point, Clinton County, New York, at a maximum estimated cost of $7.4 million, and authorizing the issuance of $7.4 million in serial bonds of said village to pay for costs thereof. And I move that to the floor for a second.
Second.
Okay, we have a second for discussion. Does anyone have any questions on this?
I got one question.
Yeah.
It pertains to the property. Could we put that building on the north side of the water tank?
Yeah, we can talk about that as soon as we do this.
Oh, okay.
That is under discussion.
Oh, okay.
Okay. But this is, we're not borrowing the money, and we're not going out to get a bond to pay for this. We just have to fulfill this requirement, showing that we have the ability to get the money to go to the next step to request the grant funding. They require it before they can do anything with the grant. So anyways, roll call vote. Trustee Arnold?
Aye.
Trustee Menard?
Aye.
Trustee Dart?
Aye.
Trustee Gadway?
Aye.
Mayor votes aye. Okay, now,
Yeah, I was wondering on the north side.
yeah, we're looking into that. We're gonna have an executive session afterwards to discuss some stuff. We have the engineer here,
Okay.
and, we've been talking about that. It's hard to tell who he is, but he's hiding over there. Okay, but that is under active talking about.
All right.
The ERS fence update, a couple of meetings ago, it was brought up about the fence along Maple Street and Academy Street. And I did talk to him, and I forgot to relay what we got information at the last board meeting, because they did it a couple meetings ago. What they've done, they're gonna move the fence, and they're gonna put a permanent fence in. And they had contracted with a fence contractor to do it back in May or June. But the fence contractor, because of the COVID thing, got behind on all his contracts, and he's running late. So hopefully it's still gonna get done this year, but unfortunately it didn't get done sooner. So they could start mowing the lawn and stuff in there, but he's.
So how far back are they putting the fence?
I asked them to put it back along where the foundation is, you know, so that the grass would be, and those,
Right.
the plants and the shrubs and stuff, we could still rejuvenate them and
Use the
get them
flagpole
going.
or whatever?
And on Academy Street, I asked them to move them back behind the sidewalk, because they had it so that, to protect the sidewalk when the demolition was going, they obviously didn't want people walking that close to it.
Right.
But I said, when you're putting a permanent fence, I think that's in the village right away, that sidewalk, a lot of it, it curves around a little bit, but not that anybody's gonna walk on it, because there's no place to go, but there's no sense having the sidewalk blocked off, so they're
People
gonna
would
take
still
that into
use it.
consideration too.
Where it is.
Huh?
I said people would still use it where it is.
Yeah.
I mean, even if they moved it back, I mean,
No, they're
somebody.
gonna put the fence on the other side of the sidewalk,
Right,
is what I
right.
asked them to do, on the north side of the sidewalk.
Right.
Okay, Shuffleboard is, under construction. The village has completed their portion of the forms and everything. Diesel came in, who's under contract with the health department, whoever's paying for this thing. They set the forms and put the rebar in, I noticed Friday, but they didn't pour it today, so I don't know what's holding up on that. The fire department grant, I have a letter from the fire department. Rouses Point Fire Department has been awarded a grant of $180,000 under the 2019 FEMA Assistance to Firefighters Grant. The grant application is for the purchase of self-contained breathing apparatus. The total project cost is $189,000. The grant requires a match of 5% of the total project cost of $189,000, requiring matching funds of $9,000. The matching funds are available in the fire department budget, requiring no additional funding beyond current appropriations. The fire department respectfully requests the board's permission to accept this grant. Now, this is a grant that the fire department did all on their own, and it's pretty commendable. I mean, they
Oh, yeah.
got a lot of money for the village.
Yeah.
And so I think what we need is a motion to accept the grant, and also in the same motion, I would say, thank the fire department for pursuing this grant on behalf of the village.
Oh, yeah, especially Mike LeBlanc.
Oh, yeah, you
He's the
can
one
mention him,
that
and
did
so
the
if you
grant.
wanna one of you guys wanna make a motion on this
I'll make the motion that we accept this grant
Second.
and commend,
and commend Mike LeBlanc
Michael,
and
Chief
the fire
LeBlanc.
And the whole
department
part, yeah.
yeah,
for a job well done.
because I'm sure it took a lot of work to do that, to get that, the paperwork and everything. Okay, all in favor? Oh, wait, do I have a second?
Yeah, second.
Second, okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, that's good. Okay, I request an executive session to discuss contract negotiations.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that's all I have right now. Trustee Arnold, village clock.
Yes, on the village clock. I thought we ordered that village clock. No?
No, it's in the budget.
Well, when are we gonna order it?
Well, that's up to you guys. I'll tell you,
Well, a lot of
we
people are
got,
asking. for it.
everybody's in favor of the clock. Nobody's fighting the clock. The
Yeah.
only thing is that we got the report from the treasurer last meeting that we're $29,000 short on the sales tax revenues, and we all agreed that we were gonna hold off on major purchases till we got a better idea what the financial picture is. I don't care, you can order it whenever you want, but I'm just saying,
I thought the
that's,
clock wasn't that much.
it's $6,000.
Yeah,
And so, it's the kind of thing that you can order, it gets here and they can put it in a couple hours. So it's not like it's like, you gotta order it 6 months in advance and it's gonna take months to, like a project. It's a pretty straightforward deal, and it can be done probably any time of the year. So, if you wanna do it now, you can do it now. My recommendation is wait till about maybe October or so and talk to our Sen about it and see how they're doing on the finances for the village.
How long is it gonna take for the clock to get here?
Not very long. It shouldn't. I think they got it just about, I think it's together, it's just that it's up there waiting, I think.
Where's this coming from? This one from Canada?
Yeah, same place where we got the last one.
Okay. Yeah, we figured it was the cheapest way to go, even if we have to throw it out in 20 years, because the other one was like, what, like 30,000 or something, or to get a, you know, like a cast iron one,
Right, yeah.
they were like a lot more, not just.
Yeah, like 3 times more.
Well, that's what I'm saying, I mean,
So I mean,
it's gotta
we've
max
all,
out.
everybody's gone over this and everybody's in favor of it, it's just the timing of spending the money on it.
Mhm.
Well, money's in the budget, right?
Yeah. But we don't have the revenues that were anticipated for the budget. I mean, we're not gonna have any problems, but I think we ought to discuss this with our son and see when he advises it's a good time to do it.
Yep.
We can talk.
Okay, trustee Dart.
I'm
One
not
thing
done yet.
Oh,
tonight,
you're not? It's,
No.
oh, you haven't even-
I'm sorry.
No. I got, I'd like to thank the rec center for cutting the bushes up in front on Lake Street, that park bench.
Yeah, I talked to
It
him
was
about that.
loaded with the bushes and stuff, and thank Ethan for a job well done and his crew or whoever. And also I got a thing for, a few people are asking that we have a no fishing sign down at the boat launch. Because apparently there was a kid down there, a couple kids down there the other day, they were fishing, and the boats were pulling in, and the woman asked the kid not to fish over the top of the boat. He was casting over the top of the boat. And she said, "You're gonna hurt somebody like that." And he got mouthy and stuff like that, so the guy, I guess, stepped up and says, "That's enough." He said, "I want you off the dock," and stuff like that. So I think we ought to put a no fishing sign there for when the boats are loading and stuff like that. I mean, you know, it's pretty,
It's just common sense, I mean.
well, yeah, I think we should put a sign up. Said no fishing. They can fish off the state dock or whatever.
Well, no, it says no fishing on that dock too.
Yeah, but that was put up to fish off it.
No,
Yes,
are you talking the Montgomery Pier?
yeah.
There's a sign on it that says no fishing.
Well, it's not supposed to be on there. We were supposed to take that off 2 years ago.
I didn't put it there, that
Yeah.
came with when we got it, you know, but.
No, that was, that's the reason why we got one of the grants is for fishing off in that pier.
Right, but
So how
that
about, how about
sign
we make
is,
a motion to transfer the one from Montgomery and put it onto the
Yeah.
loading?
That sounds
I
good.
think if I'm
No,
not,
I think there's something else on
I
that
think if I'm
side.
not mistaken, it has a whole list of things that you can't do on there, rules for using the Montgomery
Right,
Pier.
you can't-
And
you
one of
can't.
them is fishing, and that came with it when they built it, they put it in there, it was part of the original.
Yeah, but it wasn't supposed to be on there.
Let's
I
take
questioned
off.
that from day one, I said, what good is it if they can't fish?
So anyhow, I don't think it costs $30 to put a fish sign down, no fishing,
Yeah,
down on the boat launch.
and we can,
I'd say no fishing when boats are using a ramp or something. I mean, people got a right to use the lake frontage. We only have 2 access points in the whole village.
right, but
That we can even
it'd be a
touch.
lot
the
better
lake.
out there where no boats can,
Yeah.
no boats are, you know,
Yeah.
you're not looking to hit people and stuff.
Mhm.
You know, maybe we can put a sign up there, fishing is allowed on the.
Well, I make a motion that we put a sign down there that says no fishing.
I'll
Second
second.
that.
Okay, all in favor?
All right,
Aye.
All right,
that's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
okay. Trustee Dart.
Got one thing tonight, the line helper position for the electric department that we've been advertising for. We got 4 applications, and 3 of them are not qualified at this time. There was a 4th one that has had a tiny bit of electrical housing experience before. I'm gonna get with Jason Juno and see if he wants to interview that candidate, or if we wanna keep searching.
What does the other ones have for qualifications? Any electrical
A
background?
little bit, but they don't live in the area. One's from Bronx, New York, and there's a couple other ones that are, they're way downstate, and if we want to consider them, then we'd have to get we'd have to get a waiver of their residency. They have to move to Rouses Point.
Well, I'm sure, I mean, if they're gonna, I'm sure they ain't gonna travel 300
Right.
miles or
Yeah.
200 miles to come up here every day of the week.
That's right, so,
Well, if they got some good backgrounds, I'd like to see the
yeah.
applications.
I'm gonna show them, Jason and I are gonna get together on all of them,
All right.
yeah. So, and that's it.
Okay. Trustee Menard.
Just to follow up on, a couple meetings ago, we had 2 crossing guards retire, and then the mayor asked me to look into whether we had any children on Champlain Street and thereabouts that would be crossing. And I asked the school, and there are probably between 6 and 8 people that cross there every day, so, children that cross there every day, so I think we do need a crossing guard there. So I would like to make a motion that the clerk advertise for 1 full-time position crossing guard and 1 part-time position crossing guard.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
And just one other thing is, I would like to thank the village crews, whoever worked, and mostly the electric crew that worked on the parking lot back here in the rec field parking lot. Looks very good. I see we've got people out there parking, and seems like it's gonna be a lot better off than it was. So thank you for everybody who worked on it. And that's all I have to say.
All right, thank you. Trustee Gadway.
I spoke with Ethan, and he's working on getting a quote for the insulation stuff on the top.
The ceiling? thing?
Yeah, he said that they would come down, but since the border's closed, they can't do it, so he has to go around and measure the building and send that to him to get a quote on it.
Who's closed?
The border, they can't cross the border.
Oh, it's a Canadian company?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So he's working on that, and the parking lot is all straight, it looks good.
Looks very nice.
They did a good job on that, and that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Other reports. Administrator.
I got 3 quotes to get a larger electrostatic sprayer for disinfecting the civic center here. The one that we had talked about and purchased several months back came in, and we're using it in the office, but it has a very small tank, it's about 1 liter. And so to use something like that here, they'd have to fill it up like 8 to 10 times, depending how much cleaning they were doing. So I looked into getting a larger one and found 3 of them that have a 4-gallon, it's a backpack with a 4-gallon capacity. $799.99, which is actually cheaper than the 1 liter guy that we have. $895.99, and then the granddaddy is the $1,800. The other benefit to these is that they don't use the tablets, they use a concentrated liquid, which is much less expensive to mix up the disinfectant sprayer. So when they open up the Civic Center and they have to go in and have to fog all of those benches, they're gonna need a pretty big volume. This will also allow us to have one in the village office where we have the public in and they fog that front office, and have one that lives here so that they can do all their cleaning, take it out and fog the outside bathrooms too.
If we
So-
order this now, we can get reimbursed 75% from
Correct.
FEMA. If we wait till next year, we won't be able to get it from FEMA. Of course, we might not need it next year, but still, if you're gonna buy one, now's the time to buy it.
And because there's like an $800 and a $900 one. The 800 only has 20 left in stock, and we might have to, if we're back ordered on it, we're gonna be pushed maybe too far back. So I would like a motion to go ahead and buy the $800 one if I can. If not, to get the $900 one so that we will be able to open up for skating. if
Okay,
possible.
we'll need a motion to authorize the administrator to order
900 or less.
one that's not to exceed $900.
Make a motion for, order that.
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. That's all I have.
Mr. Cooper?
Well, things are pretty quiet. I was amazed this morning, it's the first time I come into a Monday and only had 1 complaint, which I addressed earlier this morning. Unless you board members got any complaints from the village residents. But things have quieted down pretty good, but then again, the weather's changing.
Okay, thank you. Anyone from the public? Okay, entertain a motion to recess for executive session.
So move.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
See you guys.
Okay, I need a motion to go into executive session.
Make a motion to go into executive session?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we're in executive session.
Is the camera
Oh, wait a minute,
recorder on?